Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Invisible Condition. It's not all in your head. My name is Jeff Pearson. I'm your host, and we want everybody with an invisible condition, no matter what that condition is, to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you do have a voice, you have a community, and you are never alone. And to that end, I'm very excited to introduce you to our amazing guest today, Jean Mayland. This has been a kind of a long time coming. We were going to have her on the show before, and then we weren't able to. And then anyway, it's been a while, so I'm excited for you guys to meet her. Jean has a very diverse entrepreneurial background, laser engraving business, text marketing business, brick and mortar retail business. I mean, she's done some stuff, right? She's got some experience in the world of business. She's also worked in the corporate sector in the areas of operations and marketing and finance and all that exciting stuff. Her passions, though, for helping people with visible and invisible conditions fueled her to create the coolest thing. It's called the My Angel Alert Band. And it is an amazing device that we're definitely going to get into and talk about. That's why we're here today. We want to get the information out to you about these amazing bands. Jean believes the Angel Alert bands bring an invaluable peace of mind. I agree, by the way, to individuals and families, knowing that it's a wearable device. You put it on your wrist, and it can talk for an individual that can't. Right? It'll speak for you when you can't. It's pretty awesome. So, all right, we're gonna bring her on. There she is. Jean, hey, welcome. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, Jeff. So good to see you again. Thanks for inviting me, having me.
This is awesome. I know we were gonna do this a while ago, and then it was like, wait, hold up. We need to do a little more, little revamping on the band, and we're gonna make it even better before we do the show. Right. And so here we are.
Right.
And I'm so excited because I saw the prototype when we saw each other last in Denver recently, and it is so cool. So cool. And I can't wait to get everybody on board and get everybody one. So here we go. I'm going to put this right here to start. And if you have any questions, about anything, scan that QR code. It'll bring you to the website, and it'll answer any question you possibly have. You can contact Jean through it. I might even have a phone number on there. So it's pretty awesome. You're not afraid of getting contacted, are you?
No, absolutely not. I welcome it all.
Not very many people put their phone number right out there.
Right. I just want to help. Everybody. So
I love it. So commonly, like usually on the show, we're talking about like a particular invisible condition, like a certain thing that somebody's living with and how they overcame it and all the things. But for today's a little different. We're talking about a tool that could be used by anybody, visible, invisible, anybody with any kind of condition. So let's start off with maybe how you came up with it? Like, where did this idea come from?
Great question. I was actually working, promoting another product, and great product.
Hmm.
I thought the idea was phenomenal. My brain just started going, and I was talking to some of my team members, and we decided to come up with what we have come up with now, the My Angel Alert band, that really enhanced it. So, it's knowing that people out there, you know, they need protection, right? They need to let in an emergency situation a way for the EMTs and emergency responders to know what's going on with you, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we wanted to do, but we actually took it to a new level and added technology. So if you remember the old outdated chain bracelets that people wore with the medical caduceus on it, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And I grew up next door to a gal my age, my class. She had diabetes and she wore that. And I remember, I don't know how many times during school, elementary to high school, when she would have a reaction and
Hmm.
see it going on, and I'd be jumping up out of my desk and running down to the nurse's office to get the nurses to bring her back,
Yeah.
to give her and stuff. And that just was
Yeah.
part of my life back then. But I remember her wearing her bracelet all the time.
Hmm.
Great, letting somebody know that there's something going on with you. I honestly can't remember if it actually said diabetes on it, because my brain I don't remember it saying that.
Sure.
Maybe it did. Maybe it said on the other side or whatever, which is great, for to immediate. Okay, there's something going on there's something with you that we need to know, but what are the details? So
Yeah.
basically, what we're doing with that is we're revolutionizing that and bringing it into the current century, right? We've added technology to it. Okay, so
Yeah.
not only do the because the EMTs, medical responders, they're trained to look for things like that, right? To
Hmm.
give them any kind of information that they need. Well, now when they see that, it's because they're looking for it. So it's going to be a bracelet that looks like this. We're working on some other products, but this is the flagship product. So when the EMT, now they're going to actually tap it with their phone, right? And
Yes.
now it's going to pop up on their phone, and it's going to tell them the things that they need to know about your situation. Now it's up to you, the information that you want to put in there. You can put
Mhm.
in your entire medical history. It'll hold as much information as you want it to. But what's going to come up first is going to be those things that those EMTs need to know in those critical seconds, right? When they're first
Yeah.
trying to assess the situation. So let's help them do a better job of that. Because if they don't know and they can't see, there's a possibility that they might do something that wasn't appropriate for you. Now, don't get me wrong. We commend and we applaud all of our EMTs, first responders, EMS, emergency responders. We do, absolutely. All we want to do is to, one, help them do their job better,
Hmm.
right? And decrease those situations where they didn't know something, right? And
Yeah.
so now we want them to be aware of that, to help your situation be a lot higher success rate, right? And
Yeah.
then also for the person who's wearing it, obviously, to have them with peace of mind, knowing, oh, somebody's going to have immediate access to know that I am allergic to sulfa, that I am on these medications, that I can't take these medications, that I have this going on, right? And you
Yeah.
can sometimes you can see it, but most conditions are things you don't know, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So is this is excuse me, is the so you said you can put whatever you want on the bracelet to be accessible by whoever, is the first at the scene. How is it real simple? Do they just have do you just have like a website, or is it personalized website for the person that buys the band, or is it how does somebody go and put that
Yeah,
information on there?
we once you purchase it, we give you the link to go enter that information. And it is
Excellent.
hyper secure. And that has been a critical thing for us to make sure it's as secure as it possibly
Yeah.
can be, because we don't want people accessing information, that's not, you don't want everything out there, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's not a big deal. I mean, it may have some details on it that aren't a big deal. But if you don't really want to share everything with anybody that wants to be snoopy, right? So
No.
so that's why we went this technology route, because you have to be like right up next to the band. You have to be within centimeters. So you can't scan something from across the road. You can't have a scanner and walk by somebody and get the information. That's not going to happen, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
and
Well,
once it's scanned and it pops up on the phone, they can't screenshot it, they can't save it, they can't forward it,
nice.
and it shuts down in 5 minutes.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, because so I have a good friend that had a hand in some of that RFID technology development with my wallet in my pocket
Yep.
right now has
Mhm.
somehow, I don't know how it works. I just know it works. That has the RFID protection so that some, like you're talking about, these people with the scanners that want to steal your credit card numbers, they used to be able to just walk through a crowd and scan, and they would
I know it.
suck it right out of your wallet and they would have
Yep.
it.
Yep.
And now they can't do that on my wallet because it's got that protection. So
Right.
it's similar. It's kind of similar to that, where it's got
Um,
it's not, well, it's not a QR code though, it's a tap.
it-
So it's even better.
yes,
Probably.
and it's not the RFID. Okay, you don't
Oh yeah.
need to buy the special thing to protect it, right? So
Right.
we're actually using the same level of security that like Apple Pay and Google Pay are using, right?
Nice.
It's technology that is hyper secure. We do everything that we can to protect your information, right? And we take
Yeah.
that to the utmost, okay? Um,
Yeah.
because it's important. Everybody
Well,
wants their
yeah.
information protected. Technology is scary in itself, right? We want you to feel peace of mind knowing that it's there and it's available, but you're protected.
Well, and it's not even that. I mean, I'm I'm not ashamed of my medical history. I don't care if
Right,
somebody knows what I had, the condition
right,
I have, or the number of surgeries I've had, or anything like. I'm not ashamed of it, but really it's more of a principle thing. It's like, you shouldn't,
right.
it's my information. So
Exactly.
yeah, it's not like I'm worried about somebody finding out that I have hydrocephalus. It's not, I
But
don't care
think
about
about,
that.
and
It's
I
the
get that, Jeff, right? You're very open with that. And there are lots of people who have
but
different conditions, right? And
yeah,
it's not something they hide, it's just something they live with, and it's not something they have to like put it all out there, right? Um, but there are situations that people don't want people to know.
oh yeah,
There are
no, I
things, and we want to protect those people as well as everybody, right? We want to make
yeah.
sure that some information, let's say it's a young person with something going on and they don't want people to know,
Oh,
right?
no, totally. If it's somebody, like, especially like a middle schooler, high schooler, I mean, that's a very,
Mhm.
and they have something going on that they have done a very good job of controlling and keeping it, at bay or whatever. And so it's not obvious from the outside. And so they don't want everybody to know because they don't want to be coddled, right? Or something,
Or,
So
or, or yeah, and I don't mean this bad, but sometimes people can ridicule others
oh, for sure.
and make
Oh yeah.
judgment calls. So,
Oh yeah.
and not that that's going to happen, but we want to, we want to minimize that as well, right? Just
Sure, sure. And I'm not trying to, like, I didn't say that about myself to try to make any, belittle anybody. I mean, I'm
no, no,
like,
no.
I'm pretty open about it, but you're right. There is something to say about having it secure, and just because I'm not ashamed of it doesn't mean I want you to have it,
Right,
necessarily
exactly.
at willy-nilly,
Right.
at
And
a
I was,
whim.
when I said that, I just wanted, like if it's a high school kid, they're very emotional, right? So if
Yeah.
if if it was them and the information got out, somebody was able to get the information from a distance or whatever, somebody could not be a nice person and,
Mhm.
start making fun of them. We don't want that to happen, right?
I- That could cause other problems that we don't need. So yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So
I
yes.
totally get it. I mean, we've
Yeah.
got three kids, and two of them are in high school, and so yes, I am well aware of the
Aren't
of
we
what
all? And haven't we all been there, right?
it's real. It is so real, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not just them; it's everybody else, everybody they know too. It's
Mhm.
so yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Um, so are there? So yes, okay, people with conditions, people with, are there other, maybe any other groups or any other people that you kind of envision using something like this, or is it mainly just for medical purposes?
Well, it could be used for other things, but our primary focus right now is focusing on the medical.
Hmm.
Um, and and we'll roll out those things. I mean, we have an idea of a goal of like getting it into like foster care system,
Ooh.
because foster kids change homes on average 11 times, right? And and it's very challenging for their medical records to follow them. So
Oh
we
man.
have a way, instead of wearing a band, they could put all of their medical information on an Angel Pocket card. And then that
Mm.
card could travel with them wherever they're going, because that way those records aren't necessarily getting lost, right?
Ooh.
And these can be linked. You can link the two of them if need be, but that way that medical history is with you all the time. And
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful because I mean, for me, like, uh, for my particular condition, there's I have a shunt here that I've had since I was, I've had one form or another of that shunt, replaced over and over the last 47 years. But there's always been one there, and one particular model of it, they gave me an actual shunt card, and it had like barcodes on it and special numbers on it that identified like so that for that reason, so that if somebody saw me and I was unconscious and something was going on with it, that they could pull that out of my wallet and know what it was, so they'd know how to treat me.
right.
But this is like that's in my wallet. Anybody can get
Exactly. Yeah. And
so this is
exactly. It's so you can put it on there. But here, Jeff. So like we put an Angel Alert band on you, right? And you've got all your information on there. You can put images on there if you want.
Mhm.
Your wife, Catherine, can carry the pocket card for you,
Mm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's got linked all the information. And then, if you're being taken care of by somebody or at the hospital or whatever, and she's talking to somebody else, adrenaline's going, right? There's so much going
Yeah.
on. And even though I'm sure she can rattle off lots of stuff, but in that moment, if she's worried about you and don't want to talk to somebody, she could say, here's the information, tap this, get this information. It's all on here. Right.
Man. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's really valuable. I can give you another scenario where it's somebody you and I both know.
Mhm.
He's a great guy. His wife has diabetes, and there's insulins that she's deathly allergic to.
Ooh.
He cannot remember when the doctor asks him, what insulins are those? He does not remember, right?
Wow.
And it's probably some long medication term, right? Right.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you would think that he would carry something, or written down in his wallet or whatever. I don't know why he doesn't have that somewhere, but he literally told me that he just does not remember. So
Yeah.
we got his wife a band, and he's carrying the card with the information on it, so that now he says it's right here, right?
Yeah.
And so he was very excited to get that, because I told him his wife should tattoo it on his arm, but now that he's got the card, he could forego the tattoo.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, maybe there'll be something more fun he could tattoo on his arm now. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's yeah, I don't know. If I was going to get a tattoo, I don't think I would want that to be my first one.
No. Yeah. Understand. The wife felt it was kind of important,
Oh yeah, a little bit. Yeah, kind of important. That's good stuff. If you're going to tattoo anything, you want to do something like that. So,
Right.
But awesome. Well, hey, we are at a really good spot for a break. So let's do that. But I want to talk about a story that from my medical history back in 2014 when we come back, because I think this might drive it home a little bit for people in case they haven't caught on yet that this is a good idea. So we'll talk about that at the other side of the break. But don't go anywhere, everybody. We got more to talk about. We got more exciting things to tell you about this amazing band, and we're gonna be back with Gene here in just a couple minutes. So do not go anywhere. We'll see you in just a couple minutes. See you soon.
Hey there. Every time someone comes into your business or website and uses their card to pay, a percentage of that gets folded back into the system. but it can go to Hydro with Hope instead. If you'd like your business to support us rather than feed back into the system, scan the QR code and we'll show you how to do that while saving your business money.
Does your to-do list have you feeling stressed? Does your list include tasks like responding to email and phone calls, collecting forms and paperwork, and sending quotes and invoices? Have you been neglecting posting updates to your social media accounts, email newsletters, or content on your website? Maybe you need help to get digitally organized. I'm Selena, one of the owners at Office Mercenary, and we're a US-based virtual assistant agency. We can take care of all of these tasks and more so you can get back to focusing on the things you love about your business. Our team is happy to work with you and your individual needs. So schedule a call with us, bring your to-do list, and stop doing the tedious tasks.
Hi, Eva Black Occurrence here, and I am the host of One Punch Superstars, where we meet real people who chose to fight for their hopes and their dreams and become the champions of their destiny. You can find us on Achieve TV every Tuesday and Wednesday at noon Mountain Standard Time, right here on E360 TV.
Hey, everybody. I just wanted to take one more minute before we bring Jean back on to talk to you about one of my favorite places on earth, and that is the Porch Coffee Space. The Porch is a coffee shop in Portland, Oregon, run by Brett and Molly Pryor, and they're amazing, by the way. We love them. And it's a space where you can show up and be seen. The Porch is a nonprofit that believes that everybody's important, and that it seeks to provide training and opportunity to those that are sometimes overlooked in our community. You know who I'm talking about. Coffee is a vessel that crosses all bounds, and it enables people to preserve dignity through the act of generous hospitality, really, and building relationships with your neighbors. And so, if you want to be a part of their story, check out this website. Check out their story. It's amazing. It's such a cool story, and they're such a cool family. And the coffee is amazing, by the way. I have a couple bags right here. I need to get a refill. So Brett, Molly, if you're watching this, we're gonna need to order some more soon. But click on this or scan this QR code. Make it super easy for you, and you've got freshly roasted coffee on the way to you. They ship anywhere in the U.S. Sorry, everybody else, they'll get there. But just wanted to make sure you guys had an idea of that you know about this place, because it's phenomenal. So, okay, everybody, we're gonna bring Jean back, and there she is. Hello. All right, we're back. Okay. Man, I got to tell you, when we first met a while back, quite a while ago, with the even the first version of this band, I was so impressed, because it was such a need that needed to be filled. That was like, but it was one of those things like, you don't know what you don't know, and then it's like, oh, this is here. How cool is this, Yeah. And so, so I'm so glad that I mean, nothing's by accident, right? There's always you're here for a reason, and you got here with such a cool product, and I'm so impressed. But I just wanted to just if you don't mind, in 2014, I've had like 4 brain surgeries in the last 10 years, and every one of them is scary, for the person that's not in the OR. For those of us that are in the OR, we're knocked out anyway. We don't know what's going on. But for those in the waiting room, it can be terrifying. And so, leading up to that, there was several months of symptoms and things that were going on, and all the and pain, and just not having a clue what was going on with my body, and like, what do we need to do? And we finally landed on, okay, we need to do exploratory neurosurgery, and which is 2 words that nobody really wants to hear. But all of that information all of my history, all of that stuff had to kind of be hunted down, because I was going to a hospital I had never been before. And so it was a brand new hospital. I had to have 2 surgeries within 24 hours. It was very hectic, very crazy. And if they had something on me, I mean, I wouldn't have had it on in the OR, but when we got to the hospital, if there would have been something on my wrist that said, here, this is everything you need to know about Jeff. Because I couldn't talk. I was in so much pain when I showed up. I don't even remember the drive down there from Colorado Springs to Denver. I barely remember the drive because I was in so much pain. And so I obviously couldn't talk. I couldn't explain a situation. And my wife was freaked out, of course. And so this would have been so valuable to have. And I know I'm not the only one out there that have been in this situation, something like this. Emergency surgery is a big deal. And emergency surgery can be scary enough. So to have something right on your person, right on your wrist, right in your wallet with the card, to be able to just scan it and it's all there would have been just huge. So all that to say, thank you for doing this, because that is going forward, it's gonna make it so much easier. It's gonna be so better, so much better.
And I can tell you, when I talk to people, it's they're like, oh my gosh, yeah. And those that either have somebody that they know that needs it or themselves might need it, and two people I talked to yesterday, both of them were like, I need that for myself. One needed it for themselves. He says, I had a heart attack. I want one now. Right. I went to talk to an assisted living nursing home yesterday to talk to the facility. And the gal that I was talking to, she said, okay, that's great. We'll work on the facility thing, but I got family members who need these now. Yeah. So, everybody knows somebody, right? And I can, we were at the event together, a month ago, and we were meeting lots of people. And I swear I was trying to count as we were talking to different people, like, and I'm going to say on average, like every third person either had some kind of either an invisible condition or a medication that they needed to be known, or an allergy, or had somebody very, very close to them, a child, a parent, spouse, whatever, that had something going on. And so everybody understood and related and like, oh yeah, this is important. Right.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like this is something that we didn't know we needed until you showed up. And it was like, oh, no brainer. This is awesome.
We put our trust in those people that have that knowledge, right? But they're still limited if they don't know the pieces.
Well, and even something as simple as even if you don't have like a condition or like a medical situation going on, maybe you're allergic to a medication. Maybe you're allergic to, some form of penicillin, which is really common, right? So if you get sick and they need to administer that, it would be valuable for you to have that on, even if you don't have a recurring congenital or I don't know what the word is escaping me, but like a lifelong condition or something, like a medical condition, even if it's something as simple as medications that you should stay away from, or common things that people take that you might be allergic to. I mean,
well, I can give you a couple examples. This is like a firefighter up in the mountains, up in the Rockies. And we got some lots of them. And she's like, I definitely want one. She goes, I'm deathly allergic to latex. So if they're using like gloves and they need to give me a shot or something, and they just accidentally don't even know that they did it, touch the tip of that needle to a latex glove or something like that, she'll go into anaphylactic shock.
Or even the site of the shot, even maybe.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
right. Oh. Yeah. And so she's like, I need one of those. Then I had another person who, they thought she was having a heart attack. And so they gave her nitroglycerin. Well, at that point was fine but she, went into anaphylactic shock and just about died from it, because at that point she didn't know she was allergic to nitroglycerin. They saved her, right? But she says, now I don't want that to ever happen again. So I want them to know like right now. if you're going to give me nitroglycerin, absolutely not. Right.
Yeah.
And that was learning on a hard curve. Right.
Oh,
But now she can deter the next one.
right. And sometimes that's how I've had to learn all mine too. There's been over the years with these surgeries, you're in the hospital and they give you some medication or whatever. And whew, some of them agree with you and some of them just don't. And it's doesn't even have to be life threatening.
Right.
There's one that they gave me that I couldn't, they said, take it with food. But every time I took it, I couldn't keep anything down. So it was miserable. And so, so even something as simple as that, like, don't give me this. It's going to make your life miserable and mine too,
Right. Right.
So it doesn't have to be life threatening even, but I mean, especially for that type of stuff, but really anything could go on this band. It's so flexible.
Yeah, well, I just came up with it. I mean, just sitting here thinking, my grandson he has problems with anesthesia. And so any kind of a surgery, if they're going to put him under, it's a big problem. So let's say something happens he's at school and they get him to the hospital before his parents could get there to tell them, blah, blah, blah. If he had some information available saying, hey, I got problems with anesthesia, so be cautious with me. Right.
Yeah. Well, and these bands, so everybody's got something on their wrist nowadays. Everybody's got an Apple Watch or something. And I know I used to work at a school for a few years, and they were so against. They were like, no Apple, no watches, because they can access their phones and they can play games and stuff. This doesn't look like an Apple Watch or anything. It is just a band it's very simple. So if somebody in elementary school, middle school, high school, whatever, was wearing this, it would be very discreet. It's nondescript until you need it. And then it's like, okay, you got everything on there. But really, if somebody were wearing one of these, it'd be almost hard to notice. And it would be so important for somebody, especially in like an elementary school. Sometimes young kids, they don't know how to speak up when something's going on, so exactly. That would be
and speaking about, people wearing Apple Watches, Fitbits, those kind of things, right? So we are coming out with we have them ordered. They're coming now. So people don't necessarily want to wear two bands, right? If you got that or whatever.
Sure.
So it's actually going to be a sleeve that you can slip onto the band of the Apple Watch or the Fitbit or a regular watch or whatever, and that way you don't have to wear two devices, and it's still, discreet. But when that EMT is looking for something, they'll still see the Caduceus on there and know. And we're training them so that they know to tap it with their phone, right? It has the symbols on there to do that.
Okay.
And we are actually going to, I just talked to a fire department yesterday, and they want to have another conversation to be able to put this information on their TV thing for their training and stuff. And I've done trainings with in-home care facilities, the training people so that they know all this kind of stuff. So we're working on training from hopefully the top level all the way down to the community, individual rural communities, right? So everybody understands. And
even like you talking about fire departments, talking about hospitals and ER facilities and urgent cares, and even police departments, right? Should be totally on board with this, because they're a lot of times they're the first on the scene, and then they call the EMTs, right? So
yesterday I was running around town doing some errands and making some appointments and stuff, and two looked like fairly serious car accidents within an hour in my small town, which is a lot.
Yeah.
And the cops are all on site, right? And the ambulance are en route. So they could actually get that information if they wanted to get it right away and be a little even more prepared, a step ahead or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think when I see those kind of situations, you don't know when an accident is going to happen. You don't know an emergency situation is going to happen. You don't know when you're going to need that care. And just be prepared. It's being prepared, right?
Yeah, it's it's a no-brainer to just have it on there, and then it's always better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Exactly.
So, So you were talking about on a watch. You were saying you're coming out with something.
It'll be here. It'll be here soon. It's
That's
ordered.
coming out soon.
It's in manufacturing right now.
So if I have this watch and I
Yep.
want to put it, like, would you put it on the bottom, like on the underside or there? Or
Wherever,
would
I mean, it'll slip. Hopefully, like the width of your band, it should fit on there so that
yeah,
it's just a sleeve. And the other thing that you can do with it, because it's just got a hole in the middle, so you just slip whatever through it.
nice.
The other thing that came to my brain as I woke up the other morning was that another use for this sleeve that we've got coming out. You know, there are people that you know, wear like life alerts to call the ambulance or the fall detection, right? Those are the first steps. That's step one to get the ambulance there, right? Because we're actually step 2 right now, helping the EMT after they get there. So if they're wearing like a lanyard like that, you know, you can slip the lanyard through that sleeve and then pull that down, and it'll sit right on top of, you know, your life alert, you know. And so it just gives another way for, you don't have to wear something on your wrist if you don't want to or whatever. It just gives more options for people.
I've also seen, correct me if I'm wrong, so maybe this wouldn't fit on here, but I've seen also where, like, if a child is nonverbal or something and they're in the back seat, they're in their car seat, whatever. And then on the seat belt, there's a sleeve that you can put on the seat belt that has those kinds of instructions or that kind of information on there. You know, so it's similar to that, but it's on a watch band or on a
right.
Like,
you know, and we have more products rolling out, and we've got more technology and stuff that we want to add to it. Currently, additional things that what's actually available. So if this is tapped by an EMT, it'll actually send a text notification to your emergency contacts.
Oh,
so
nice.
that they know that something happened, right? And so you can list whatever emergency contacts on there that you want. The other thing that we also have on there is not everybody speaks English. Right? So you can do this in different languages, and you can put multiple languages on there. So, you know, if you're bilingual, you could do that. Or let's say you travel a lot. Let's say you like to travel overseas. You ever go overseas, Jeff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love going overseas. Yeah.
Okay. What's a foreign country that you went to that a language you didn't speak?
Any of them. I mean, you know, Switzerland, Germany, France, you know, all the things.
So,
you know?
so let's say you were traveling. Let's say you were traveling multiple. Let's just take one. Let's say you went to France, right? Okay. So you've got English on there as your main language, which you use every day when you're here in the U.S., right? But you're traveling to France, and so now you can leave the English on there and add the French, so that you're covered during your whole trip. And then when you get back, then you can take the French off if you don't feel you need it here while you're back home.
Yeah. No, right? That'd be a little weird, wouldn't it? No. So is that, you can add that? Is that the kind of thing where you add before you go and then take off when you get back, or you just
absolutely?
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, and that's super easy to do on the website still. Is that how you do it? Okay.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. And we've got the major languages on there. There's a lot of languages out there, but we've got the major languages available.
Cool.
And the other, you know, when you go in and you're entering your information, you've got it all set up, ready to go. Let's say next week I go to the doctor and he's like, let's just switch up that med that you know, you weren't feeling quite right, or it doesn't seem like it's doing what it needs to be doing or whatever. So you can easily go back and then update that into your record. So, so you're always staying current.
That's so cool. And I'm sure there's I mean, you can do it right on your phone. Probably you've got the access to update that information on your phone. So you can just right at the doctor's office, you say, okay, we're updating the dosage or updating the thing, whatever. You just punch it in there and then it automatically goes on the band.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Love technology, Jeff.
Oh man. You know what? When it works right.
I know, right? Right.
Perfect. Yeah. So
I never thought when I was growing up, after I learned how to turn on the TV and turn the dial, that I'd have to relearn how to use a TV again. But there's so many things with TVs anymore.
I know. Yeah. No, you don't have to be the remote anymore. There is a remote, right? Usually, like I was the remote. Hey, change the channel. Okay. You know, and you
Jeff, get up. We want to turn to that channel. That's like
right.
Whoever's
sitting on the carpet closest to the TV is the remote, you know? So when we had like 6 channels and nothing on past midnight except the national anthem and the snow, right? With the
snow. Yeah. No, we're dating ourselves, Jeff.
A little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. That was
technology and the world keeps keeps improving.
I mean, you hope so. Yeah. It's
Technology
evolving
can be
anyway.
good. It's only when it's used for not good that we have a
Well,
problem.
exactly. Yeah. And this is if I've ever seen technology being put to really good use, this is it right here. This is what we've been missing for years, that we didn't know we were missing until it was here. So I'm so glad that you've done this. And I mean,
So,
and your
yeah, I appreciate that. Just you were talking about, a child sitting in the car seat or whatever, right?
Yeah.
There are lots of children that have conditions too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you can, a parent may or may not want the child to wear a band, but if they're usually with an adult, you can get multiple cards, right? And so mom and dad can each carry a card. Going over to grandma and grandpa each get a card, right? They maybe have a daycare provider, so the daycare provider has one. They go stay overnight with a friend. So you give them a card, while the child's with them or whatever, so that's always protected, right?
Nice.
So just an idea.
And that's a great idea. And so if you did want your child to wear it and you didn't want to messing with it too much, you could even put it on their ankle, maybe. I don't know, or maybe or if they didn't want to wear it on their wrist, or is it? Yeah. And if it's waterproof, like if
it's
they went
waterproof, it's hyperallergenic silicone, which is the flagship product, and eventually we'll have more products to choose from. That's all in rollout, right? So we'll have other things to choose from, but this is the flagship. It's hyperallergenic. Everybody's wearing silicone bands now anyway, so it's not anything out of the norm.
Yeah,
right.
I love it. Well, I do have one other question, but I'm going to wait for the other side of the break, because we're going to go to one last commercial break, and then we'll come back for the last segment. But I do have a question about the one that you said that goes on the watch band. So I wanted to check in on something there, but because that sounds really cool. So okay, everybody, stick around. We're going to talk more about that specific one that's rolling out here soon, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Jake, co-founder and CEO of One Hope. My friends and I started this company in 2007 out of the back of this truck on a mission to enrich people's lives through wine. Today, we've grown into a state-of-the-art Napa Valley winery that proudly houses a portfolio of award-winning wines which have touched lives through over 40,000 nonprofits at home and around the globe. And it's happening every day. Being rooted in local communities and contributing to initiatives that uplift neighborhoods, celebrate cultures, and promote community. It's what got us here. You see, through every bottle sold, your purchase can make a direct impact on the causes you care about. One Hope's cause of choice has given back over $10 million and counting.
In a world where office workers typically receive 130 daily emails and have an 8-second attention span, CoreCentrica, with her 4 decades of international marketing experience, has partnered with the Learning Code Institute and their 30 years of neuroscientific research. Together, we are crafting unique messaging strategies that resonate, connect, and ultimately convert our target audiences. CoreCentrica, where award-winning creativity and disruptive neuroscience come together. Scan this code now, or call and click, and let us show you how CoreCentrica's partnership with the Learning Code Institute is influencing how businesses connect with their audience, foster engagement, and achieve conversions.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Greg Russell. I'm the host of TechnologyTuesday.com. You can find us on the Conscious Business TV network every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the latest resources to help you make more money in your business. Join us on E360 TV. Come on.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Man, thank you, Gene. This is an awesome device, and I'm so excited that you're here, that we can get the word out about this to everybody, because I'm telling you, my mom is my parents are troopers, man. My first brain surgery was at 2 weeks old, and and they've been through it, man. But something like this, and there's so many people, even just with my condition, hydrocephalus, there's over 400,000 babies born with this every single year. I mean, there's so many people that this could be valuable to, and that's just one condition. So I just keep thinking back, like, man, I wonder if what if they had something like that, and they wouldn't have had to, because it's chaotic when you go in there and you're like, wait, we got to do what kind of surgery, And so this would be so valuable. And specifically, I wanted to ask you about that watch band feature that you're going to have coming out really soon. That you said it's so about how, so just because I kind of want to get one now for the watch band. I don't want to, I kind of like, I have the first version of the one for the wrist, but I kind of want to get the one for the watch band because I'm always wearing a watch. So, right. How big is it? If you put it on your watch band, is it gonna, I'm trying to think of how that would, about how big is it for on the band?
It's not very big at all. So it's not going to cover a lot of your watch band, right? Probably like 3/4 of an inch, maybe.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Right. Okay. So not very big. Right. Okay. And think about the size, if you've seen like the Fitbit and the Apple Watch, how wide those bands are. So it pretty much fits the width of those. So depending on like that watch you're wearing, if it's too wide, it might be a tight fit. It might have some stretch to it, but we'll just have to, I can get the dimensions.
No, I love that. That's so cool. Because I mean, so many people that I know have, I mean, especially in nowadays, man, everybody's got their phone, but they can't be too far from their phone. So they got that Apple Watch or their Android Watch or whatever. And so, it's they're wearing it anyway. They may as well put something to keep themselves, safe.
Absolutely.
On there
absolutely.
Too,
so. Yeah.
Because
the devices that they're wearing serve their purpose, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't do what we do.
Right. No, totally. Right. No, and that's a good point, because a lot of the like Apple, like there's stuff built into the phone that it's like there's a health app on the phone, but that's not nearly as it's not the same.
Right.
It's totally different from what you're doing. So
So I mean, I can go into a little more information just so people understand.
Yeah.
So obviously we've talked about like you can list your medications on there and your conditions and your allergies and those kind of things, and your prescription, your dosages per day, all that kind of stuff. You can put your blood type on there, any current recent surgeries or procedure you've had, past surgeries. You can put, if you have implants, any kind of anything that you've had, stents, devices. I've got a cousin with a titanium implant in his back that's fused to his hips. So we actually uploaded the images of that. So because he was worried if something happens to me and I can't tell them, how are they going to know? And if they move me wrong, they're going to mess me up. So if they can see that right away, they'll take a little more caution.
That's great.
You can put your doctor's information in there, your emergency contacts. You can put your advanced directives. If you have medical surrogates, you can upload your living will if you choose to.
Oh, wow.
What your DNR, your do not resuscitate status preference is. You can put your insurance information in there, so it's unlimited to the amount of information, right? So, but it's your choice as to what you want to have on there. So
see, that's awesome, because so I have to, as you can imagine, somebody with a condition like hydrocephalus, you're going to the doctor. I mean, I just had an MRI a couple of weeks ago. We keep going to appointments. We keep going to follow-ups. When you go to those follow-ups, that band could be your when they're like, okay, update us on what's going on, and they just tap that, and so if you go to an office, actually, I just thought of this. If you go to a doctor's office, are they going to be able to, if they tap that, are they going to be able to pull that up and be able to add things to your record easily, or is it?
They can't tap it and add it from there.
Okay.
You would have to give them permission to add it. I'll tell you, we do have plans to roll out where we integrate with the health records, with the health facilities.
Love that. Yeah.
So that's rollout stage, right?
Yeah.
So we're working on that.
That's awesome. Because that, I mean, as I said before, I mean, not everybody has a life-threatening condition that this is going to be like emergency, you know, but it could be just, it just makes your life easier sometimes to have that on there and to be able to update things quickly and easily. So, I mean, there's so many cool uses for it. So, well, I'll tell you what, yeah, this is, I mean, my head's kind of exploding right now with all the ideas that I have for, I've got a couple other people that I need to probably put you in touch with here. So, I'll do that after we're done here. But man, this is. I feel like every time we talk, I think of more people that I need to introduce you to.
Well, there's a lot of people out there, right?
Oh man, there's so many people out there, and everybody's situation is so unique, which is why this is so cool, because it's so customizable to anybody and everybody. So yeah, it's just awesome. Well, we've got about 3 minutes to go. And we're done. So what is, if you wanted to leave our audience with one last thing, what would that be?
Obviously you can, go to the QR code that Jeff's got up there, and make a purchase for individual people. But if there's like groups out there, that, groups, organizations, companies out there that want to get them so that they can distribute either to their members, their residents, that sort of thing. We also can do those in a white labeled fashion. If they would choose to do that, we can white label them. They don't have to be white labeled, but we can work on large quantities and special pricing for that. So, like if it was assisted living and they wanted to offer it to their residents, right? So I'm opening that up. So if somebody wants to inquire about large quantity purchases in an application like that, please reach out. We're more than happy to work with you, white labeled or not.
Oh, that would be so cool. And we're working on adding that to as one of our partners on Hydro with Hope's website. So I'm very excited about that. Because that is just a no-brainer, in my mind. So this is such a cool thing and so timely.
Yeah, we'd really like to do that with Hydro with Hope too. So we'll continue those conversations.
I am very excited about that. Yeah, right. That's gonna be great. So and anybody that has organizations that has, I mean, the white labeling thing is super cool because you can definitely
support that particular cause, right?
Well, it's kind of twofold. Yeah, you're keeping somebody safe, but then you're also spreading awareness about your particular organization by having that on the band. So it's kind of doing two things at once, which is great.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
That's
why we work together.
Yeah, exactly. That's and how do people, one more time, how's the easiest way for people to get in touch with you? Just the QR code, or
you can go through the QR code and you can get my information on the website if you want. There's a phone number on there and there's a email, but if you want to email me direct, it would be my name, Jean, at myangelAlertBand.com. And the office number would be 712-220-0356.
Nice.
I can repeat it if somebody picked up the pen late. 712-220-0356. And that's me. I'll be like, oh, and then you grab the pen and go, what was that?
Jean at myangelAlertBand.com.
Yes.
Right? Okay, perfect. Got it. And there you go. It's going away. So write it down quickly. Write it down. Okay. All right.
Just remember, Jeff, hey, everybody needs an angel.
That's right. Everybody needs an angel.
Let's get the angel for those people. Yep.
100%. Well, Jean, thank you for being here. This has been awesome. And I'm so glad that we finally got this on the books and man, thank you for everything you're doing and for just the timeliness and the coolness of this event, of this device. It's just awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Jeff. I am humbled to be on your show. And I'm willing to support you in any way that I can as well. So
thank you so much.
Absolutely.
All right. We might have we might have to have you come back again. We'll see. We'll have to roll out some, maybe when you're rolling out some new stuff. So
there we go.
but,
Absolutely. All about it. Absolutely.
Yeah, let's awesome. All right. Hey, thanks, Gene. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks so much, Jeff.
All right, everybody. Holy smokes. All right. Okay. If you you got to get one. You just got to get a band. That's how it is. That's just how it is. Everybody, if you don't need it, somebody else that you know does. So grab one. And if you have questions, reach out to Jean. She's amazing, and she'll answer all your questions. So, okay, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being here and sticking with us today and learning about this amazing device. If you have a favorite episode, like it, share it. So might be somebody else's favorite episode too. They might not know it until you share it. So, if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, all the things. And we so appreciate you being here. If you've been watching for a while, thank you. And if you're brand new, thank you. We are so excited that you're here. So join us on our next show, which will be Friday, July 12th. And until then, have an amazing day. We'll see you next time.